No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lied.
Broadcasting from a closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning, Beef. I've missed you.
Oh, there's too much energy so far. But yeah, thank you for missing me. Yeah, we took a majority of last week off, so I guess it has been like 2 weeks.
Right.
It's hard to tell, because we've just been getting everything going. And of course, with the new studios comes new daily problems. In fact, yesterday, which had nothing to do with the new studio, but the last half hour of the show, we were kicked off the air because there was a major power outage in the area of the transmitter.
Yeah.
So we're just doing the podcast broadcast. Next thing you know, management rushing in all panicky. Like, oh, you're not on the air. Like,
Oh, no.
Looking around him, like dropping F-bombs. Like, it's nothing I did, man.
You're like, I didn't touch anything.
I did not touch a thing, but but we are back at full power, and that's good because we got a lot of things to cover today, including big ticket giveaways. Of course, for that Disturbed, which we announced on Monday, that they're coming to town at the amphitheater up in Phoenix. So with that, we'll be giving those tickets away in the 7 o'clock hour. We also have tickets for the world's greatest band, and no disrespect to Disturbed, but we have Nickelback tickets to give away, and other stuff like FC Tucson and things like that. Now, of course, today or this week up in Phoenix, it's chaos, right? Because the Waste Management Open and, of course, Super Bowl happening at the same time. And a lot of people are in town. And with the extra people in town, there's more eyes on the city. So people are doing weird, stunty stuff for the sake of whatever cause. So yesterday, there was a man who scaled up Chase Bank building downtown. And when I say scaled up, and I don't know why they designed this building like this, but it's a skyscraper about 20 stories high, and there was a gap in between it that goes from the ground all the way to the roof that is about 4 feet wide, essentially leading people to be able to kind of shimmy their way up that chute by putting your back on one wall, your feet on the other.
Yeah.
And so a guy did this. Now, apparently he was pro-life. He's a pro-life protester. So he went up the building as some type of political statement for pro-life, which makes no sense to anybody. It's like you're going to life climbing this tower,
Right.
Which seemed like a hell of a workout.
The literal hill he will die on.
Exactly. And all he needed to do was slip once. Unfortunately, he did not. But, it was something that took the news attention for a lot of times. They call him the pro-life Spider-Man. And so Arizona was, of course, on the news yesterday just for that alone. And, they were able to arrest him. He was able to make it all the way up. It took a couple hours to do so. He started at like 9:45 in the morning, and it was 15 floors, not 20 floors, but still, woo. I mean, what an exercise. It was nerve-wracking watching this. And of course, I was looking at the video clips on Twitter, so I didn't know whether or not I was going to watch somebody die, because on Twitter,
it's live.
Yeah, they'll show something. So,
Yeah, you're like, oh God, is this about to be a snuff video? What's happening?
There's a little bit of a news report to share with you. Let's see what they had to say about it. If I unmute it, can you hear it?
No.
Well, no, yeah, I guess we're not going to do the news report then.
All right, then.
Oh, you got to see this too. We're going to look at the video on the podcast broadcast because it was impressive. I mean, there's a point where he's got his hands and his legs both out to his side, just putting pressure on each wall for dear life, and then looking down 14 stories below.
Right, I did that as a kid when I was little and like shimmy up a doorway, but to do that 15 floors, no. Yeah, there is so many climbing places in Arizona that is free. Just go outside.
Right. Yeah, the things that people will do to get laid, and I'm just assuming that's what he's doing, is just trying to impress some pretty pro-life girl. Okay, so beyond that, there is, of course, a whole bunch of festivities happening this week. Not only downtown for the Gem Show, but of course up in Phoenix with the Super Bowl and Waste Management Open. Like I said, one of them is not necessarily a Super Bowl official event, but it's a dispensary up there called the Mint, and they're putting on a big festival, and they're trying to get the Guinness Book of World Record for the world's largest smokeout.
Oh.
Yeah, so Saturday at 4:20, they're gonna pass out 10,000 joints. Now,
Holy
of course,
crap.
I know, holy crap is right. So, of course, we are in a legalized state, and so this didn't happen last year in Los Angeles because there's still a little bit of restrictions, but we're completely decriminalized and legalized, and this is the first time I'm seeing, an open cannabis event to the point where they are going to be selling edibles. I mean, they're doing stuff where I'm like, wow, you're allowed to do
You're right.
this.
This is impressive.
Yeah.
I thought public consumption was still illegal, though.
Well, I mean, it's somewhat of a private event, but they sell tickets to it. There is a workaround. I don't have all the answers. All I know what their intent is. Now, there's going to be a bunch of bands, of course. It's by the stadium up there, so they got it on the west side. They expect 10,000 people to be at this festival. They'll have a bunch of bands, smoke-centric bands, reggae bands. No one notable off the top of my head, but the biggest away from this story was them saying, yeah, they'll have 10,000 pre-rolls ready to go to pass out, and at 4:20 on Saturday, they're going to attempt the world's largest smokeout for the Guinness Book of World Records, which I don't know if they'll recognize it or not. And I grew up on the west side of Phoenix, and I could just imagine that entire city is going to reek. You know how when you walk,
so bad.
Yeah, you walk downtown 4th, people complain going to New York because it's legal in New York that the streets smell like weed. 10,000 people smoking at once. I mean, seriously, it's going to be like a plume of weed smoke just hanging around. And I'm wondering, with that many people smoking, not that far away from us, if Tucson's going to get a contact high.
Probably. And hopefully somebody's got some drones set up just to watch it all go up. That'll be amazing.
They're stoners. They have all the drones. They're definitely going to have drones. So that's something to look forward to. And if you're a stoner, then you might want to look into that Mint Festival going down this Saturday. All right, let's get the show moving. We'll have the tickets to give away this hour. We're going to kick things off with Jet, Nirvana after that, and then we'll be back with your Morning Moron. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. All right, we're live on the podcast broadcast. Welcome. And I just got, I opened up the Facebook question of the day. There's a guy that's hating a little bit, and he proves a good point. First off, he tries to be like a radio insider, like he knows stuff. So he's talking about dead radio show, right? Talking about the ratings of the station, which are the public numbers, the 12 plus numbers. 12 plus means, anyone over the age of 12, all different demos, things like that. And I'm not happy with the 12 plus numbers, to be honest with you. I think they could be better, at least a whole share. Our last book was like 2.3. We should be around 3.5, right?
Okay.
But, whatever. That's an argument that I don't win with management, and we're working our way up. As I stated before on the air, when I got this job, they literally told me the good news is I have nowhere to go but up. And then they said, oh, by the way, we're not going to give you any resources for that anyways. So good fucking luck to you, right? And we've been kicking, screaming, clawing, doing what we can to build it up. And, and then most of the hate online doesn't hurt. This comment hurts a little bit. So I tried to reply, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I understand why you think that, but that doesn't show the demos, the breakdowns of people 18 to 34, 25 to 44, and, men 35 to 54. These are all key demos that we're actually doing very well in. Coming from last place, being in the top 3 in those is definitely a win. And, people here on management side is happy about that. But of course, personally, I want to try to, create this community, make radio fun, kind of do old school with new school technology and, bring the party to the people in the streets of Tucson and get everyone involved. And we have a lot of fun stuff to go. But, there's some people that don't understand that and they hate. So this guy's named Juan, right? Okay. And after I told him, whatever, as far as the different demos of what we're doing well in. I said, but trust me, we're having fun and things are getting back to where they need to be, but enjoy that classical station that he said that was beating us. And I'm sure their morning show is hilarious, right? And then Adam had my back. Adam said, you're here commenting on their Facebook page. So
Right.
whatever. And he's like, somebody's got to tell him. And then Juan's response does kind of hit me in the gut a little bit. And because he's not really wrong. And he's like, their morning show doesn't have a man-child ranting about nonsensical things, and they actually play music. So, well, we play music.
Yeah.
But am I a man-child? Yeah. And do I rant about nonsensical things? At times. That's what I had Todd Marley for, to kind of, keep me in line and let me know when I'm ranting on nonsensical things. So he's not 100% wrong on that. And what hurt even more was how many people like that? Let's see. Only one, David Marsh. Dave Marsh, you're like fucking 90, bro. So go back to the Frank show. But yeah, so that's stung.
I mean, it doesn't sting that bad because I like your nonsensical rants. I think they're funny.
Exactly.
I think it's entertaining.
We're a freestyle comedy show. I will go through on nonsensical rants, and if they don't make sense to you, well, maybe you're listening to too much classical music. Maybe, that's making you.
Right. If you don't like, it's just like the internet rule. Like if you don't like it, scroll on. Like go to a different station.
Right.
I mean, maybe not.
Yeah, and thank you, Rick. I love you too, Courtney, and the crew. So, and yeah, Todd said the fuck the other station doesn't have a man-child. You do need a man-child. And yes, I did say the F word. We're not on the radio as right now. We're on the podcast. But you know how that works. And good morning, Patrick. All right, so yesterday we had dead air. The reason why we had dead air was because of the power outage, but we were back at 100%. And then yesterday also, I told you that we had a meeting that we had to do, or I had a meeting that I had to do with with Mucho and Mac, talking about the lawyer complaining about the basically things we can't do, right? So I was like kind of in trouble for the video podcasting in a way, and I was like, well, what can I be in trouble for as far as copyright infringements concerned? I've been doing this video podcasting here like about 4 years. I've learned through lessons that if I play anything that's copywritten, that I will get a notification. They'll take the stream down, and if I don't have a platform to put the stream on, then then I fail. So obviously I'm following all the rules. So yesterday I go in for the meeting and they tell me that the lawyer said he brought up one point, an Instagram clip where I put a Cartman GIF on it. Right. So immediately I freak out because my knee-jerk reaction is emotional. And I'm like, oh, this guy's an idiot. All these like intelligent lawyers, they don't understand how social media works.
Right.
Like the Instagram's covering that. But then I talked to Powers afterwards and he reminded me the context of the post that we're talking about. Okay. And I'm going to tell you how I did a 180 right after this. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're back live on the podcast broadcast, going through the troll comments on our Facebook page and the funny comments on our running question of the day. What's something that makes you instantly judge someone and their intelligence, right? So something that they do or they say or they dress that makes you instantly be like, that person's stupid. So if you have something to add to that, make sure that you go to our the Facebook page, Rock 102.1 KFMA. I got some headlines to share with you real quick. So we'll kick off the podcast with this. There's a new poll that found putting your toddler on a leash is now socially acceptable. Would you ever put your toddler on a leash? Have you seen this? Parents do this?
Okay, this has been a thing for a long time, though. It's like a little backpack and it's got the leash on it.
Yeah, but people judge, but now they're saying it's socially acceptable. You wouldn't do it?
No, I wouldn't do it to my kids. And I talked to my husband and he's like, nope, I was a leash kid. My mom put us on a leash, but he's a twin. So she had two at once. So that made sense. But yeah, no, I used to judge it. Now I'm just like, dude, do whatever you need to do. Like, kids suck.
Yeah, some of those kids are hypos. They're all over the place. And the only way to kind of keep a good eye on them is to leash them up. But in the same poll, they said, okay, well, the leash is now socially acceptable, but entertaining your baby with a smartphone isn't. So they're basically saying walk your baby like a dog, but don't let your dog be entertained by your phone. So why would you let your baby be entertained by a phone? You understand?
Yeah.
I kind of worked my way in circles on that one.
Right.
But that's good news for parents out there with leashes. And now we know that J.K. Rowling doesn't necessarily agree with the transgender community. In fact, actually, she said some pretty outlandish things that has called for the culture to cancel her. Now, Harry Potter still goes on, and I don't think she owns the entire franchise, or at least the video game version of it.
Like, I think she gets that residual kind of stuff because it's her thing.
She'll
but she
take the
doesn't.
Money.
Yeah, but some of these things she does not have creative control over.
Yeah, so this is a win for the transgender community because it looks like the Harry Potter game that's going to come out is now unveiling its first transgender character.
Nice.
Which I'm surprised that this is the first transgender character.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few wizards there that look like they could be wizardess.
I think there's some non-binary characters that they're not stating out loud, kind of androgynous, which is cool.
Yeah. Like, what the hell is, what's the little troll that loves socks?
Dobby.
Yeah, what the hell is Dobby anyways?
He's a house elf.
He or they? I mean, really,
Okay.
respect the pronoun.
Okay.
Anyways, Hogwarts Legacy is out this week, and it features a character named Serona Ryan, in which many have a history of mistaking her gender. The game is an open world role-playing style game set in 1800s.
Yes.
So there you go. Even though J.K. Rowling's might not like the transgender community, it looks like Harry Potter characters do. So that's a win. All right, let's keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. When we return on the FM side, we have a pair of tickets giveaway for Disturbed. Yes, we do. And I know we pushed things back and we were going to give them away in 8 o'clock hour, but this is a treat for everyone going to work late this morning.
Yes.
Your chance to win those tickets next on Beef Vegan Presents. All right. Now we're back. So, as I was saying.
Yeah, what were you saying? I forgot.
Okay, well, I was talking about having the meeting with Mucho and Mac.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And here's credit to Mucho and Mac. They know me very well. And they know I'm an emotional creature who my first instinct to react is that, especially right after the show, I'm highly caffeinated. I'm like, a spent. I am not in the mood to hear anything that I think is.
You're like, I've already been up from 4 a.m.
Right.
What are you doing to me?
So when they said, hey, the lawyer has a problem with you posting a South Park GIF on your Instagram reel, I lose it. I'm like, that is, I'm bouncing off the wall. And they considered having this meeting with Jay, but to protect me, or with the lawyer, but to protect me, they're like, you know what? We should talk to him first. Let him get it out of his system before we bring it back to the lawyer. So I make a bunch of jokes. I think it's asinine. I'm like, this is not how. It's the same thing if I did a dance and put music to it on TikTok. It doesn't make the station liable for the music on TikTok. TikTok covers that, right? So that's how I understood it on the surface level, right? And so I'm cracking jokes. I leave there like, well, that's a waste of my time. And this guy's ridiculous. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But of course, he is an attorney for an entire multi-million-dollar corporation. Surprise, surprise. He actually does know what he's talking about. And this dumbass guy who makes dick jokes for a living does not. So I call up Powers. And shout out to Powers. This is a couple times that Powers has been able to do this for me. And it's good to talk with him, but to put things in perspective. So initially he saw the humor of it, but then he actually reminded me the context of the reel in question. And it was a Rollies clip. I was essentially advertising Rollies, the restaurant. Now I saw it. I was like, oh shit. Okay. Because since it is branded content, which is essentially just a commercial, I was doing an entertaining commercial for Rollies. And then I put the South Park GIF on it. Now, of course, Instagram owns the rights to that GIF. That's not the problem. But the problem is kind of co-signing one brand with another.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though I know that if Trey Parker and Matt Stone knew Chef Mateo, they would want him to be the head chef at Casa Bonita when they open it up in Colorado. And then they're doing that soon. But yeah, if they had Chef Mateo's menu, they would consider themselves lucky. So it's not like they wouldn't co-sign or endorse, but the fact is they did not. And that's where it gets into a legal gray area. And that's where I understood. And after it was put into that context, not only is it making me a little more aware of the style of content that I'm posting, right? Because I mean, I know the difference, but as far as when I like spice it up to increase the engagement with all the little imaging.
Right. That's just a small detail. Who would have thought? Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. Who would have thought in that situation? And I'm not necessarily, like well-versed in commercial radio by any means, even though I've been doing it for 6 years. But this was still something where I was like, oh, okay, no, I get that. I totally understand that. So before they called the lawyer up to let him know that I disagree or to try to school him on anything, I called up Mac and Mucho. I quickly apologized and said, you know what, honestly, in the context, I get it. That makes sense to me. And, moving forward, when I, put these clips up and everything, I'll know what style the clip is. Like I could put if I did a picture where I like lift up half my shirt and like shake my fat belly and like, oh, I'm such a fat, but screw you guys. Right. And then put a Cartman thing. that's fine all day
Right.
long, right?
Right.
But if I was advertising a company saying, hey, this company will make you fat, just like Cartman, and then use Cartman, then I could put us in liability. Not that it would happen, but since it's a possibility in the legal world.
Yeah. You want to avoid that.
Right. So again, that's the big shout out to Powers there. So go figure.
Saving your ass again.
I know he did. And it was good. It was good to listen to that. My only takeaway and complaint, and I know Powers is watching right now, is that once he proved the point, I was like, oh shit, I need to really call them real quick before they get a hold of the lawyer. And there is no quick way to end a conversation with Powers. So I was just like hitting that wrap it up button. Like, no, I totally get, okay, I got to go, man. They're going to fire me if I don't get off the phone right now and tell them not to tell the lawyer that I said anything disparaging, because I said several things completely disparaging. But that, again, that's my knee-jerk reaction. It's not the first time that's happened, so I have to be more self-aware of that. But I'm a creative, I'm an emotional creature. And yeah, my first thing, if I don't understand the full grasp of everything, the big picture,
right,
and I will hyper focus on something that I adamantly disagree with, that upsets me. And then
oh, I do the same thing.
I know. So it's something that we learn as we grow.
Right. Right. Well, there's always that impulse. And then they say, take a moment of pause and then have your reaction. I'm not great at that. I'm like, nope, here's the floodgate. Let's go. And I'm going to tell you everything I've been thinking about for the last 3 months, too.
I know. And same thing in relationships and in conversations and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, something I'm definitely fall victim to, and I do it to myself. But as we get older, wiser, hopefully it's something that we could learn to control and not do again, because I know it hasn't done me any favors. And a lot of times, and people are, in fact, are kind of scared to bring up things around me just because they know that I'm probably going to react irrationally at first. But I think my reputation is I come around.
Right. Come around, apologize, take responsibility. I don't know. At the rate I'm going at, I'll probably finally have this down by the time I'm 60.
Right.
So I'll be a really cool retiree. That'll be fine. You can approach me.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to be giving away tickets here for Disturbed here in a couple minutes. So I got to get ready for that. We're going to play the alphabet game. So if you want to try to win those tickets, be ready to call. Speaking of Disturbed, there was a little bit of conversation that we had with David Draymond that I want to share, talking about his trip back to Tel Aviv. Check this out.
Just send me an invite.
All right.
Thank you.
First question, David Draymond and Disturbed. Are you stoned right now?
No, I wish I was.
Well, I know we're both, marijuana advocates.
You got some luggage under your eyes there too, dude.
You know it. I like to have a good time. I
was stoned earlier, in full disclosure, but no, not right now.
Because right now, I guess there's a 2-hour time difference. So was it a little wake and bake action? Is that part of your medicating process or no?
Off cycle, on occasion, yes.
Yes.
But we're getting near to the tour cycle now, and I can't quite continue to do the abuse that I've been doing to myself, at least not at the level I've been doing it.
To stay motivated and focused and all that.
It's not about motivated and focused. You can be motivated and focused and still burn as much as you want. I know some of the most motivated and focused people that I know are, daily pot users, and that's God bless them. But in order for the pipes to not have high temperature, smoke hitting them and compromising them on a regular basis is when I'm about to do the kind of singing that I plan on doing. You need to prepare yourself and you need to train, man. The older I get, the harder it gets. That's for damn sure.
So yeah, there's a whole regimen to keep that muscle that is your vocals in top form. So do you switch to edibles then on long tours if you were to do that?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, and just try to avoid smoking. There's one thing that I thought was interesting when finding this out is that you tend to like to write on indica. You say you write like 95% of your lyrics while stoned, which obviously creative muse, and I completely
and a lot of
understand
people
and agree
prefer
with that.
Sativas for it. They find it more enlightening and more creative. To me, they don't do enough.
Really?
It's like, to me, the difference between indica and sativa. Sativa is a nice caress. Indica is a good smack, you know. and to go where I want to go for rhythmic dissection, for melodic dissection, the thicker the better. And so I just prefer dank, heavy, not enlightenment bud. I like it. I'll smoke it on occasion, but it doesn't. I don't find myself more creative with that than I am. You know, I find myself more creative when I can withdraw into my own psyche and my creative self and ignore everything else, as opposed to being like ultra heightened and, you know, sensitive to everything. Ooh, what's that? For me, it's like, if I'm more like this, the tunes come out better. You know, that's all I can say.
No, you're speaking my language, and I completely understand. The sativa is more of like a manic high, and an indica is more kind of like a meditation of sorts. And then it comes out that way, and that makes sense. Because I was confused at first. Because if I hit sativa, you'll find me in the backyard pacing around, coming up with all different types of wacky ideas to how to tell dick jokes in the morning. You know, like things like that. Are you ready? It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Are we back here live? Yeah, we are.
Are we?
Yeah, awesome. All right, I'm sorry, I don't mean dead air on the podcast. This is multitasking. I'm going to give away these tickets here real quick. Play a little game. I was going to do the alphabet game, but I figured in honor of the Super Bowl, we'll switch it up a little bit. So let's see who we got on as our first contestant. Rock 102.1, who's this?
Andrew
made it through. All right, Andrew. Well, you know, your patience paid off, dude. So I'm gonna have you play.
Thank God.
Now all you gotta do is win this game. So it's not gonna be easy. Let's see who you're playing against.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Rock 102.1. Who's this?
This is Troy.
Troy. All right, Troy. You're gonna be one of my contestants. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
All right. So Troy meet Andrew. Andrew meet Troy.
Troy.
Can you guys hear each other?
Yes.
All right, good. All right, now I'm going to ask you this question right off the bat. How familiar? Well, actually, no, I can't even ask you this question ahead of time because we got 3 minutes and I don't want you to try to cheat or get any kind of advantage. Yeah. But all right, so we're just going to spring it on you. The game is going to be a little different today. All right, we're not playing last word in a sense where we're not doing speed rounds. But yes, I do have a game that is similar to the last word where you guys are going to have to answer back and forth of one question. And then whoever gets stumped or repeats their opponent's answer is going to lose. Okay. So that's essentially the rules. All right. So you have to be kind of well-versed in what I'm going to ask. I will tell you it's thematic based off of current events, things that are happening here in the state. And that's the only hint I'm going to give you. Okay. All right. So we're going to be on here in about 2 minutes.
And what's the time cutoff for being stumped? 5 seconds?
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Got it.
Yeah. So they'll just have to answer. And of course, when we do this game, we're going to be live on the air. So obviously no cursing. Okay. Good.
Okay.
All right. So you feeling confident? I know. I mean, Andrew's been patiently waiting. And
I think this is his third time calling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just checking, and which I appreciate. He stuck around. He's been listening. He heard the cue to call. He wants these tickets.
I can win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the hard part is over. Well, the easy part is over, I guess. Yeah. Now the hard part is actually winning these tickets. So we got about minute 30 before we're live on the air as we get going here. What was your bonus Weirdo story before we get into Weirdo? Because I know that we didn't get to that. So since we have that, let's get Weirdo.
Let's pop back up to that wherever I put it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was early this morning. Right here. So Beef, you have tattoos, right?
I do.
I do.
A bunch of shitty ones. You got some tattoos
as well. Would you ever let a monkey tattoo you?
I would not. Well, actually, I can't say that I would not because I do have poor tattoos all over my body. So, yes, you would assume that I did let a monkey tattoo me. But why do you ask?
So Venezuelan-born influencer Funky Matas currently holds the Guinness World Records for the most signatures tattooed on his back. But he decided to step it up and be the first human to be tattooed by a monkey. He's been training the monkey to do tattoo work and let him tattoo him. It's not the best in terms of quality.
Okay.
But neither are some of, the kitchen tattoos I have from my early 20s. But the event was a fascinating look into the capabilities of these highly intelligent animals.
It seems like it's insulting to tattoo artists. Did the monkey tattoo like Japanese, but it was a misinterpretation? It was supposed to mean strength, but it really meant cock boy.
Or delivery service here.
All right, 5 seconds. Let's get on the air here. Good luck, guys.
Thanks.
Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Hey, Weirdo.
Yes.
I want to play a game. All right. I got 2 contestants on the phone. On line 1, I have Troy. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning.
And on line 2, I've got Andrew. Good morning, Andrew.
Morning.
All right, so here's how we're going to play this game. It's kind of like the last word in a way where I'm going to give you one category, and you guys are going to go back and forth giving me acceptable answers for that category. But there is no 30-second limit, all right? We're just going to go back and forth. Now, the only stipulations are, A, you cannot repeat your opponent's answer or you automatically lose. And B, after your opponent answers, you have 5 seconds or less to reply back with an answer. You guys understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So, in honor of the big game happening here in Arizona this Sunday, our category is NFL teams. We're going to start off on line 1 with Troy. Troy, give me the name of an NFL team and go.
Cardinals.
Cardinals, okay.
Cowboys.
Cowboys, all right. Troy.
I don't know what.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Troy, 2, 1. Oh, no. That happened so quickly. Andrew, give him another team name.
Cardinals.
No, he already said
said
Cardinals. Oh, my God, dude. You guys would have lost twice. All right, Chiefs, okay.
Okay.
So the Chiefs are facing the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Troy, it looks like the nerves got to you, my friend. So that's the bad news. The good news is, yeah, that's what I do. I put people on the spot. The good news is, though, I am giving away Disturbed tickets tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning around 7:10 is your next opportunity. So if you want to try to win those tickets, Troy, you can call back and try to win those tomorrow morning, okay? And that's great news for Andrew, who's been calling me for the last 2 hours trying to get through on the line and get those tickets. So you won, and you barely even did anything, Andrew. Congratulations.
Oh, man. I just had to name my football team.
Yeah. Your football team again was who?
Not the one for me.
Yeah. What was your football team again, Andrew?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh yeah. See, I shouldn't even give you these tickets. Ugh.
Well,
I'm just kidding. All right, Andrew, stay on the line. Troy, try again tomorrow morning around 7:10, okay?
Yeah.
All right, for the rest of you guys, if you don't win the tickets, those tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. We're going to hit the reset. We'll be back with more podcast broadcasts after these words. Rock 102.1. Clear. All right. So while I get Andrew's information,
I'm not even a football fan at all, and I could name at least a couple.
you would have smoked them?
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
All right. Earlier this morning, we got weird with Weirdo. That's what we like to do. She just gave us an example of that. Here are the 2 stories you probably missed. Check it out. Rock on 2.1 KFMA, that System of a Down. It's 6:51. Let's get weird with Weirdo. What did you find in the internet today, Weirdo?
Oh, some fantastic news coming out of Area 51.
Oh, what's that?
They're going to create a centaur this year.
Wait a second. That's not a press release from Area 51. Do they do press releases? Where did you hear this? The centaur news.
One of those time traveler TikTok pages that are always accurate.
Oh, yes. The TikTok time travelers at it again, saying that Area 51 is going to produce a centaur this year.
This year.
Is there a month they're saying, or just the entire calendar year?
Just at some point in 2023.
See, I hate beginning of the year predictions like this because what it does is buys them time to be like, you don't know yet. You don't know yet. For 11 months, I don't know yet. And then New Year's Eve, it's just like, oh, well, maybe it'll be next year.
Right.
So, okay.
They always move the goalposts. But supposedly this time traveler from the year 2858 has put out a list, including the half human, half horse centaur being, but didn't stop. They also said a passenger plane is going to supposedly go through a wormhole on March 30th.
Okay.
So that's a hard date.
Right.
A meteor shower bring alien life to Earth on April 23rd.
That happens all the time, though. But you could count bacteria as alien life.
Fair. Oh,
Yeah.
that was very smart of you.
Well, I mean, every now and then I black out. So, what other predictions?
And the last one is that the moon will turn pink on May 13th.
I think I've seen the moon pink before too. We've had some weird moons.
Yeah.
But that has to do with pollution or smoke in the air or a lot of different factors.
So, and of course, people are skeptical, as am I.
Yeah, they're skeptical, but they still follow the TikTok time traveler.
Right.
What else you got? Weird news.
Oh, we're gonna get to throw ninja throwing stars in Indiana legally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they illegal? I guess they would be illegal, right? Because kids are the only ones that like ninja throwing stars. I remember seeing one and having one as a kid as well. I didn't hurt myself with it, but I bought it at the swap meet and it was badass.
Oh, that's the only place to buy them is at the swap meet.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
But yeah, the Hoosier State has decided to make it legal. It started with an owner of a business called Ninja Golf.
Okay.
And he thought, hey, some bars have axe throwing. Why not have these throwing stars?
I agree with that. In fact, actually, axe throwing would probably be more dangerous than ninja stars because sometimes it bounces back at you.
Oh my
You
God,
see those
terrifying.
videos? Yeah, you have to have quick reflexes. But that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Get drunk and throw ninja stars at things. Ninja golf all day long.
Right.
Someone's definitely gonna get hurt though. So
100%.
we'll do a follow up.
But I mean, their safety measures need to be in place. It can only be certain businesses. But the bill passed the Senate by a margin of 48-1. So I guess everybody except for one person could agree on that. And that's the one person that got hit by a ninja throwing star from their kid.
I have an idea which senator, if he's a senator, that did not vote for it. It's the guy with the eye patch. He's like, nope, I learned the hard way, guys. You don't want this action.
Exactly. Again?
No.
No, I see us on the stream.
Yeah. Because I was just like, we were just watching Let's Get Weirdo. Good morning, Looney. Looney, I might text you a little bit later. I think I'm doing a walkthrough of Borderlands. And with that, if you're not working later on, maybe you could meet me up because we're going to look at the setup there and everything else as I was just responding back, which I shouldn't be. Like, I responded back to trolling and that one comment. Because I'm like, if you don't understand what we're doing, you're missing out a good time. This Borderlands pub beer crawl that we're talking about, the Tucson Foodie Craft Beer Crawl, is going to be fun. And of course, we're going to be setting up doing a live podcast and doing our games out there. And we encourage the streamers, which you guys already know about this, to go to TucsonFoodie.com, get your tickets so you could join us because then we're going to win a lot of people over, or attempt to win a lot of people over that day as well. As we're just trying to bring radio back to community, it's just too watered down. And that's why I'm getting, comments like this because they don't understand. And you see what else is going on as far as the radio landscape. You got syndications like Breakfast Club, John Jay and Rich, and what do you really have that's really fun for people who are still actively going out and enjoying themselves. So we're really just focusing on putting together the parties, bringing together the community, and pointing you in the direction of the best food, the best music, the best times in Tucson while having a good time with a bunch of friends. So there's people initially who aren't going to get that. They're only going to get it on the surface level, tune in once, hear me ranting about lesbians or boobs or something like that. And then just write me off as an ignorant man-child, which I'm layered. It's,
You're like an onion.
I'm like an onion. Yeah, I'll make you cry all day long.
I mean, I remember growing up and always hearing about the remotes that would be happening and not just with DJs I didn't know, like the morning show, things like that, and always wanting to go.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're trying to do that again. And it's difficult. It's been uphill, as we know, but you guys know this. All our streamers, OG streamers, you're privy to the inside information, but, been down from day one, what we've been doing and how it's been kind of evolving and the direction that we're going. And as soon as you recognize it going a different direction, I would hope that any one of you point that out instead of just jumping ship and never hearing from me again. Don't ghost, give me some closure. Let me know what the problem is.
This isn't cool anymore. I gotta go.
Yeah, and then we'll try to fix it. Now I want to pull this clip up because this audio up because we just had this interview. And this was pretty interesting because I was like, whoa. I'm gonna share this. Now you guys heard this on the air if you were listening on the FM side.
I don't want to call you that name because you're turning me on.
Oh no!
I want to see you. I want to see your photograph. You have really great energy.
That's Laura Korn. She is the author of 101 great, or 101 nights of great sex, right? We talked with her today. We talked with her over 10 minutes, and she she hit us with the full court press. She was trying to have a menage with Weirdo and I, which I think I could get a hall pass for. If I technically interview a New York Times best-selling author, I think my girlfriend would allow me to participate in. But of course, Laura did, she sounded like an older, mature woman, which she's mature, but she looks fantastic. And I'm going to show you. Let me show you Laura Korn's Facebook page and these photos. Because if you're thinking you're like, oh, man, like an old lady's trying to hit on you. Ha ha ha. No. She is not that old. And she looks a lot better than I assumed she looked. Because I was imagining kind of like gray-haired, frumpy author type, like Stephen King with tits. But that was not the case at all.
That was descriptive.
All right. So this is Laura Korn. I'm going to show you some photos that she has, and hopefully I can. Okay. Boom. Babuski. Now there's going to be a bunch. All right. So this was our author guest who is turned on and just fantasizing about Weirdo and myself as we speak. Now, yeah, she's an older woman, but she holds up well. She's aging like wine. And I guess she's got a husband, but does that matter? Right. No, she seems pretty open-minded. There's some more photos here. Like, hold on. I got to scroll down. Where's this one? This ain't even a photo. This is in Tucson. So she actually wrote this book in Tucson too. So in fact, we're showing off the goods. And damn, right. Let me open up this chapter. I'll do number 12 through 42 with Miss. Oh, she looks like an expert on sex. Initially, I was just like, what makes you like? And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah. She's been banging. Yeah. There's no shortage of banging.
Yeah, it really does. Looks like it's in Tucson or in the desert at least.
It wasn't Tucson. It has shot. She wrote the book in Tucson. Nice. Yeah, and that's the reason why we interviewed her. So there was some local ties. And now I'm just a big fan, massive fan. In fact, actually, it's getting massiver of a fan as I continue to look at that video. So I'm just like, what? Oh, and you're familiar with this area.
Consider you're like, yeah, you should ask that question so I don't come off as a creep. And then I'm like, and then now you just keep going.
Well, my question was, why wasn't chapter 69? But I guess if it's like a mystery, it's a surprise every single time, then that you're not going to be surprised by that.
Right.
You're going to be
no.
Yeah.
That one's in 96.
Yeah.
They switched.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Seen that coming like VR porn. All right. So drop that gem. All right. I have, speaking of scene, now you're pretty passionate about your kids when they're in sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of those moms who are like super into it and are yelling from the sidelines and trying to be the coach, even though there's already a coach?
Well, I mean, we have roller derby and I help coach with that, but for the other kids that play lacrosse, things from the side, but I don't I let the coach do their job.
Well, that's very nice of you. That's really smart. Well, this mom, she lets the coach do her job as well, but she gets so excited that she's actually abusing her husband while watching their son perform in a wrestling meet. Now, have you seen this?
No.
This is hilarious, actually, and I want to share this with you. Let's see if I can hear the audio as well. Watch her as she gets crazy. And then people are laughing at her. Watch, you gotta get her out of here.
It's gonna be a good one in the last 10 seconds.
Now, she doesn't realize she's being filmed, and these people are on the other side of the gym there, and they noticed her, and they're just cracking up the entire time. And it takes a while for the people behind this woman freaking out to realize how funny she's being, right? But the people filming this are having the time of their life. The better her son does, the more her husband gets beat up. He has to pull her back.
What is happening?
Not done.
Seeing it in sunlight. I can't wait for
Jolene. Silent face.
Oh my God.
Amazing,
Oh my
right?
gosh! Showed up for a wrestling competition, left with domestic violence charges.
Exactly. Yes. So good.
I've never, even when I'm coaching, being the coach, I've never been that into it. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, she's got a number one fan, or her son has a number one fan, and good for him. Very bad for the.
Yeah. Later that night, I don't know why my dad's making me quit wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, son, every time I go to one of your meets, I end up with a black eye and a sore neck. And she literally had her hand on the side of his face, pushing his face away. And he's like, woman, I'm just sitting right here. And then he has to hold her back before she runs onto the mat. And God forbid, it looked like her son was winning. God forbid her son starts losing. And guess what? Tag team match. Now turns into a 2-on-1 handicap. You got to watch out for the mom coming with a steel chair. Like, that's going to happen.
So
hide the chairs from this woman, but fantastic. And, some people love their kids so passionately. And I don't know how that feels. All right, here we go. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. I got a top 5 list to share with you here. It's the top 5 reasons why you should never go into a hotel jacuzzi. Now, you being in a polyamorous relationship, weirdo, I imagine you're in a jacuzzi, I don't know, 5 days out of the week?
No, we don't own one.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, I don't expect you ever to be dry. Well, here it is. Here are 5 main points, and this was posted in a piece called theconversation.com, and it talks about why jacuzzis at hotels are even grosser. So your own personal jacuzzi, that's gross, but a hotel jacuzzi, forget about it. You're talking bacteria stew. Number 1, there's definitely poop in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun fact. The average person has about 100 milligrams of it just hanging out between their cheeks at any given time.
Oh my God.
The average person, 100 milligrams. Really? And I know there's a lot of you out there. The trend is to get a little freaky and start at the back door, work your way to the front. I would reconsider that for the sake of your pink eye. All right. Number 2, viruses, funguses, and bacteria love hot tubs.
Mm-hmm.
The temperature makes them a perfect breeding ground for things like E. coli, staph infection, and the bacteria that causes laryngitis, right? And I got to share this list with my girlfriend because she'd rather be in a jacuzzi than a pool. No matter where we're at, even if in the summertime in Rocky Point, where it's hot and humid, and what are you doing? Trying to make me pass out. But I'll share this list, and hopefully she'll never go in one again. Number 3, people are gross. One of the main reasons that hotel hot tubs are disgusting is that people just don't practice good hygiene. And the chances they showered right before that are slim to none.
Nobody showers before they get in a pool.
The jacuzzi is like a bath. So.
Right.
Number 4, hotels don't clean them enough. In general, the water in hot tubs is only supposed to be changed about once every 3 months. And a lot of hotels don't even use enough chemicals to keep them clean.
Yeah.
And the final, number 5 reason why you should never go into a hotel jacuzzi, those chemicals themselves are just bad for you. They do kill germs, but they're also toxic. That's how they kill the germs. And experts say you should limit yourself to a 15-minute dip, especially kids and pregnant women. 2 common issues are skin irritation, stingy eyes, but we know that. That's just swimming in general.
Yeah, I would, and do not go under the water in a jacuzzi. Yeah.
Oh, and also they say here's a fun little tip: if your hotel jacuzzi has a strong bleach smell, it doesn't necessarily mean it's clean. It just might mean that's even extra gross. So, yeah, so keep that in mind before you plan any spring vacations. All right, we'll hit the reset. Keep the conversation moving on youtube.com/beefvegan. Be back with your beef tip after these words. Clear. How many of you honestly love the jacuzzi in hotels or just love going to the jacuzzi at all?
So wait, it's chlorine mixed with urine that gives that bleach smell?
No, the bleach smell just is them trying to cover up how gross it is.
Got
it's showing how lazy they are as well. So it's not necessarily clean whatsoever. Speaking of the irritated eyes, that's usually caused by chlorine, of course. But a chemical created when chlorine mixes with urine, or that's chloramine. Chloramine, which is a chemical created when chlorine mixes with urine and other bodily fluids, and it smells like bleach. Oh, that would have been fun to say beforehand. So if your jacuzzi has a strong bleach smell, that doesn't mean it's clean. That means there's extra bodily fluids and chlorine mixed together.
Oh,
damn. So there you go. Yeah. I mean, the more you know. Mm-hmm.
Well, I also just like hate going out in public now and like just public in general. I hate it. Now for you to tell me that, I'm like,
I know.
This is why we camp.
I know. Yeah. Did you see the woman who got broken up with on the airplane?
I mean, those are always fun videos. Is there a new one?
Oh, let me rephrase. Did you see the crazy ass woman who got broken up with on an airplane? Because that's exactly what happened here. Now, this is only part one of this full-blown meltdown, and it's kind of insane. It went viral, and I think obviously that's a very terrible call, breaking up with someone, especially if it's at the beginning of the flight, because where are you going to go?
Right. I never I've seen these kind of like somebody had a Twitter thread where they're like, dude, the people 2 rows back, he just broke up with her. Like, why would you pick then to do it?
No, I know. I mean, do it while you're landing, and then you could be on your way out. So you
at
could do
the
it
end of the trip.
At the end of the trip, yeah. But you definitely want to do it where you're in a confined tube, like 30,000 feet above the ground. So this guy made the mistake, and I guarantee you he's only going to make this mistake once in his entire life, because the way that she reacted. Now, rightfully so, he broke up with her because she's crazy. And there's no denying that she's crazy based off her reaction, because no sane person would react like this, especially in public, especially on an airplane. And this is probably a felony for her, but check this out.
Fuck off!
Hey, ma'am, where are your next? Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Oh my God. All right. She's staying.
Yeah, and that's
Wow.
just the beginning.
Right. At first, it sounds like she's been stabbed. She was just told her mom died. Like, nope.
Yeah.
You got kicked to the curb.
Yeah. And 2 things are for sure in this clip. One, she would definitely benefit from, seeking some mental health.
Yeah.
Any kind of therapy would definitely benefit her. 2, this guy probably knows how to put it down. So, shout out from one king to another. From one king to another. You got a massive stroke there, son. I can see it. And good for you. But you're driving these women crazy. So how about you slow it down?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my 2 takeaways.
Do things in private. Why do you have to, maybe they were on the way to the trip and he's like, I'm just regretting this immediately. I'm going to go enjoy this vacation by myself. Let me just get rid of this now.
Sorry if that was too loud there, Sarah, but that's the last screaming viral clip that we're sharing here for the podcast broadcast. So that's good. I was going to have Kat Rumbly in studio, but she was sick earlier this week. So that didn't work out, unfortunately. And then we were going to have Powers go to the Gem Show, but the Gem Show doesn't open up till a little bit later. So we were going to figure out a man on the street with Powers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, here pretty soon. So
when does the Gem Show go till again?
I don't know. It's like never ending. I don't have any Roadrunners games right now because of the Gem Show, because the Gem Show takes over the entire TCC and everything around it. So yeah, that's where we're at there. And that's fine. I'll take a little break and be cool with that. Let's see. Let me just check my time. I know this is the boring part of the podcast, so I'm trying to do my.
Oh yeah, we only have a few minutes.
Yeah, my housekeeping, and yeah. All right, good. We're good. We're gonna be on after Sublime. All right. What else going on here? What were some of the headlines? Let me go to my Twitter. And anything that we missed covering today that you wanted to bring up, Weirdo?
Tommy Lee is at it again.
Yeah, did you guys see Tommy Lee's balls? Now, this guy did a dick pic like 3 months ago.
Right.
And he hangs low. He's notoriously hung, right? That was not surprising. Now, what's also not surprising in retrospect is as you get older, the boys behind the meat, they tend to hang low as well. In fact,
yeah, when you showed me the photo because I couldn't get it to pull up, and I was just like, oh Lord, that's halfway to his knees.
I know.
Yeah.
So his balls are almost lower than his dong, and I can't show that on the stream, obviously.
No, but it's fantastic the fact that he actually tagged Mr. Peanut, wanting to do a collab and everything. There's a lot of people being like, okay, fine, haha, it was funny the first time. Like, this just seems desperate now.
Well, yeah, that's just Tommy Lee seeking attention. He's basically announcing a new tour. That's what happened. So he dropped that dick pic before at the beginning of the last Motley Crue tour. Now they replaced McMars, and they're about to go on tour again, this never-ending farewell tour that they do.
Yeah.
And so to pump it up again, get his name out in the press again, he showed his balls this time. So now that you know that, is utilizing this as a marketing tool, then it makes sense. A little clever, a little desperate, but maybe it helps ticket sales. This is the guy climbing up Chase Tower yesterday in Phoenix. Because in hindsight, they're like, oh yeah, I guess people can do that, and that's not great. And I know that there's plenty of buildings in downtown Phoenix that have these kind of gaps where you can kind of shimmy your way up. This guy actually went up 14 flights all the way to the top. Now, he was doing this in protest, apparently. I don't know that for a fact, even though it's alleged that's the case, and he's pro-life. But he's a pro-life protester trying to kill himself.
The difficult part is getting back down.
Yes, I know. We were just watching video on the podcast broadcast, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have Rico in studio, Patrick from Squared Up Pizza, and tickets giveaway for Nickelback and Disturbed, both performing separately. And of course, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for listening to the show. As always, Robin Nash is up next. You guys drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Later.
When you wish upon
Later,
a
guys.
side of beef, soon will come and
Defend my
your
honor in
grief.
Facebook comments.
But if
Fuck that
you've
guy.
been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all